Welcome to Type C Tech Reviews. Today we're going to be checking out the Pixio PXC327 Advanced. If at any point during the video you want to check out this exact same monitor, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. But let's get this thing unboxed. A very good price point, a 32-inch VA panel. I mean, this thing is under 300 bucks. It's curved just from the specs. Oh, also we got a wide color gamut. It seems like this is gonna be a really good monitor. Pixio always brings it with the specs. Let's see if they can back it up. They usually have. I've had good experience with the Pixio monitors. Unique packaging here, although it's very good. All right, so out of the box, right away, we have the bottom part of the stand. All right, now this seems to be all a nice piece of metal. It's actually like a black matte. I do really like that. Listen to that, that's nice. You got two screw holes in the bottom, but it's a matte black and it's got this nice like texturized coating on it. I do like this. Here's the top half of the stand, a very small stand. Is this not height adjustable? Okay, so we have this little piece which I think just clips in to the top. Is that supposed to be cable management? Okay, so this is non-height adjustable. It's okay, the price point's good here. No, there's no way it's cable management. I think this just came off. I was about to be excited. Maybe that's a future thing. Okay, so that just snapped off of there. This is gonna go in here just like that. And same finish up here. I think this is all metal. So even though you don't get height adjustability, it looks like you only get tilt. At least it's a clip-in stand and at least it's all metal. So in this bag here, we then have the screws that we're gonna need right there. And then we have the power cable, which looks like it has an integrated power supply. So none of those power bricks, which is super nice. And then you've got a DisplayPort cable, super nice. Then, oh no, we have the other end. Okay, so this does have an external power supply. Not a big problem though. Here is the external PSU. All right, let's get this off and check out the panel itself. There it is, but first, let's take these screws out and put this stand together. Let's see if I can do it using a Swiss Army knife. All right, so line these two up. Once those are lined up, drop those screws in there. All right, guys, finally found an actual screwdriver. Haley always steals these screwdrivers from me and hides them throughout the house, but let's get this fully screwed in. So far, the only knock is that it doesn't have height adjustability. Now, an Asus monitor, a 32-inch curved VA panel, that I actually currently own, but I reviewed it a long time ago, not on this channel. That one also didn't have height adjustability and it was significantly more expensive, I think by like $100. So this one, still got a lock-in stand. Let's get this thing hooked up. So you can just open the back of the monitor. You can see the VESA mounting screws on the back right there, but you just put the top in and there you go. It's all clipped in. Let's get this thing out. All right, so firstly, back looks nice. It's overall a fairly thin monitor. If you come to the side here, like obviously it's thicker because of the curve, but when you do come to the side, it's not super thick. You got some nice kind of generic-y looking fun stuff, whatever, it's fine. Then let's come under and check out the ports, and it actually got some stuff I really do like here. So we got two DisplayPort 1.2s, but those are full refresh rate with 165 Hertz at 1440p, and then an HDMI 2.0 that maxed out at 144 Hertz. But they say it right there, which is super nice for people that don't kind of understand the bandwidth of these. Then you got a USB, which I think is just for power possibly, or maintenance or something like that, because there's no upstream port. Then you have DC and a 3.5mm audio out. Then let's flip this around. And again, remember, the only adjustability I believe, yeah, no swivel. You got tilt. Yeah, but oh my God. Let's come back here for 1 second. This stand is dead stable. Like, yeah, even though you don't have height adjustability, it's a nice stand. Like, it's a nice quality. All right, let's set this on the desk. From the front, 1500R curve. Looks like the bezels are gonna be pretty thin. What about, how do we control this? I think it's back here. Yeah, it's one of those joysticks on the right side over here. Not my favorite placement, just that joystick right there. Yeah, it's probably gonna work well. All right, well, let's get this thing hooked up. We're gonna do an initial impressions, gaming test, and then a ghosting test. The ghosting test is what we're really gonna be looking for here. That's what's either going to make or break this monitor, because I can tell you right away from the color gamut, which is wider, all the other specs look great, but if the ghosting's bad, this just isn't gonna be worth it. Or it might be worth it, but not to the majority of people, and I won't widely recommend it. If the ghosting's good and everything else checks out, this could be a really, really cool monitor. All right, guys, now with it on the desk, hooked up to the PC, let's turn this thing on with the power button, whatever else. We got a little light down here, which actually looks nice. Doesn't look cheap, actually. It's like a nice little thing. Okay, up on the screen, right away, good things, okay? It looks nice. The colors look nice. That's always a good sign. Let's go right into the settings, Pixio settings right here. Brightness is at 90. Let's turn that all the way up. Although, how do you turn it up? Ooh, not the best controls here. Okay, so brightness at 100%. It looks good. Contrast and everything. Very interesting setup. Not the best control format, but not too bad. Gamma's at 2.2, which is what we wanted at. color temperature here, all that's gonna be tested. But they do have an sRGB mode specifically, which probably caps it to the sRGB color space, which is cool. So we got all that stuff, gaming, we got FreeSync Premium, we're gonna turn that on. We got our overdrive settings, our response time settings essentially. We got HDR, DCR, our different inputs, system setup. Yeah, pretty good stuff, a good amount of stuff here. We have different user stuff, which is very cool, like saves, which I like. And this is a small nitpicky thing, but when you go over here, to turn these up or down, you push the joystick up or down when it should just be pushing it to the right. However, not a big deal. All right, this is obviously doing 60 Hertz. Let's go into NVIDIA control panel. G-Sync is recognizing the FreeSync, although it's not a NVIDIA certified FreeSync or NVIDIA certified G-Sync. We're gonna go in here, put this to its max 165 Hertz. Now we're gonna see if this thing can output 10 bits of color, and it can. We love that. All right, now going through the settings are pretty basic, but again, this covers 95% of the DCI-P3 color space, so the HDR performance, well, it should be better. This is a VA panel, I think, with a contrast ratio of 3500:1, so HDR might be pretty good on this. But let's hop in game and see how this thing does. All right, while Battlefield's launching up, one thing that I did notice right away was the viewing angles are actually quite good here. Like a lot of VA panels will wash out, the colors will kind of go grayish. These viewing angles are actually really, really good here. Big reason that you might even consider this. Colors here are fantastic, and this is probably still in SDR unless it automatically switched, but I think we're still in SDR. They look great. Yeah, so we're in SDR. Let's hop in game, see how this thing does. All right, and hopping right in game, colors look great, but obviously just SDR, so we're only taking advantage of that sRGB color gamut right now. Feels nice and smooth, getting kills out of the gate, so obviously it feels nice and fast. Now the ghosting here, remember, this is a VA panel, okay? Let's kind of see how the ghosting is. Yeah, I mean, there is ghosting. For sure there's ghosting, but I mean, to the untrained eye, you wouldn't see it. I think this is gonna be quite low. This is actually, I mean, you never really know until you do a test, but I mean, this looks like it's going to be significantly lower than I was kind of expecting, which is a really good sign. This is actually making me pretty excited for this monitor, as this could be, well, definitely a top-rated monitor for me, and recommending it on my channel, which definitely is very exciting. Yes, a very enjoyable experience. It's 32 inches, it's curved. Ghosting seems to be, yeah, I mean, there is ghosting. It's not perfectly crystal clear like fast-paced IPS panels are gonna be, but oh God, for this price, this is pretty amazing. And we haven't even tested out the HDR, which is something that I'm really, really excited for, just because, well, it's got the black levels, not for the best HDR experience in the whole world, but it's got deeper blacks than an IPS panel. I mean, this could be really, really cool. That's enough gaming. I mean, the HDR experience test, which is something I'm very excited for, that's gonna be in the full review. But right now, let's do a dedicated ghosting test. And yes, this is exactly what I expected here. It's got ghosting, but it's lower, significantly lower than you're gonna get on most VA panels. This is tuned quite well. However, there's still some ghosting. Let's see what they did with these response time settings. So let's go here into game setup, into overdrive. It's on low right now. That's a good thing. Hopefully, switching it into middle seems to be the best thing, just from this initial ghosting test. Switching it into high decreases the ghosting in darker shades, as you can see up here, but has pixel overshooting or inverse ghosting. A lot of weird artifacting, ghosting stuff. You don't want to put it in high. I can tell you right now, in game, it's going to look crazy. So it looks like from now, it looks like middle is good, and you can see here, that's very, very low. That is quite good for a VA panel. And overall, I mean, this is kind of what I was expecting, but I didn't know how they were gonna do with the tuning of this VA panel, but so far, incredibly impressed. Now, this is hitting around 300 nits of brightness. That's what I would say, about 300 nits of brightness in SDR. But HDR could be bumping it up quite a bit. Then you're getting a wider color gamut. Then you're getting deeper blacks because it's a VA panel. This could be an extremely solid monitor, possibly one of the best budget monitors of 23. Pixio is always coming in with these, like, no one asked for a 32-inch VA panel that was super nice. Like, they've been around, but this one is at a price point, well, it could just be really, really good. Okay, make sure to subscribe in a few days for the full review. But if you want to check it out, check out the specs or anything like that, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. This one's gonna be a fun monitor review, and after this monitor, we're doing the LG OLED. But this was Type C Tech Reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next video.